it's Candy from Candylicious Treats. Well, just as promised, we promised to do a tutorial on the cake that you guys selected. Thank you so much to everyone that's voted, and the voting was unanimous, and you've all voted for the photo C, which is our quite popular rosette and hydrangea dried buttercream birthday cake. So definitely we'll be doing that. I did the first part already because I didn't want the live video to be too long. So I did the first bit, and the cake is actually in the fridge. It's been there for about the past 30 to 40 minutes. So what I'll do, I'll quickly start. Before I get the cake out. Hi Margaret, thanks for watching. Bear with us because it's our very first live tutorial. It's just a short one, just to show you basically some of our tips. You'll need some piping bags. You can use the disposable ones or the reusable ones, whichever you fancy. You're going to need some colouring paste. We usually tend to go for the paste because they won't change the consistency of your buttercream. You'll need a spatula. You'll need a bent scraper. Just one cocktail stick, a pair of scissors, some toothpicks, and you're gonna need some piping nozzles. These ones are 1B and the 2D. So I mean, you could just use the 2D, which is fine anyway. What else? As well as your buttercream. Now the buttercreams is here, and I will put a link to the recipe as well in the comments after the live. I've already coloured some buttercream, so that's the red one we're going to be using. We've got a bit of green, and this one I'll colour while we're going ahead. So I'll just go ahead now and get the cake out the fridge. Just bear with me. There you are. So we did this bit in the first video. I will send a link to that in the comments bit as well. What we've done is a 6-inch cake, well, 2 6-inch cakes that we've cut, we've filled and we've stacked, and we've also crumb coated it. So that's the first coat, and I've put it in the fridge for about 40 minutes just to harden. I'm just gonna get the rest of the buttercream out. Hi guys. Hi, is it Jay? Thank you for watching. So I'm just going to start now. So basically the buttercream, I'll just move that there, move forward a bit. I'm hoping the lighting is okay. It's our first video, so I'll just have a look next time to see what I could improve, so you guys will have a better view. So we're just going to start from the top, where we just put a bit of the buttercream on the top, and using my spatula I'm just going to smooth it down this way and move it around. Sorry, I didn't mention, but what I've rested the cake on, this is called a turntable. I know most of you that do cakes, you will know, but for those that don't do it at all, which were quite a few of you have been messaging me inbox, you know, so that's why I decided to go ahead with this tutorial. And as well from my pastor, Kingsley, who's really encouraged me to go for it. So I thought finally I'll just, get on out there. Also dear friend Pastor Benjamin, he's encouraged me to do it ages ago, but I just never got the time. But I thought finally, because I've been getting quite a few people messaging and asking, you know, I just thought, okay, just go ahead and show some simple tricks of the trade basically. So there you go, that's the top bit that I've done there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is just around the base. I know it doesn't look very neat now, but I can assure you it will all come together soon. Okay, just gonna add a bit more. So what we want now, we want to basically add the buttercream quite thick around the cake. This is gonna cover any bumps or lumps that the cake have, and it's going to help to give it a smooth finish. And when we're using the scraper to scrape it all off, it's going to be quite smooth, so don't worry, just go for it. There you are. Once again, I want to thank you guys so much for liking my page. Do give it a thumbs up if you haven't already, but thank you guys so much as well for inviting your friends as well to like the page. I've noticed we've met our first 1,000 likes last week, I think, or the week before, so yay. I think that's really inspired me as well to just thought, okay, let's go for it, Candy, do your live video. Okay, so I'm just adding a bit more to the butter. Now, everyone does this different. I just find it easier, this way. But there's so many different ways of doing it. So it's just whatever you find easiest for you. Just go with that. I'm just gonna get it down there. I'm sorry if I didn't mention on this the beginning, but I did mention on the first video, this is actually the 6-inch cake that's been stacked with 4 layers, buttercream, jam, and then I've crumb coated it, and it's on an 8-inch board. It's just a little bit wider than the cake so that I've got enough space to work around when I'm ready to smooth the buttercream, and it looks nice as well. I'm just putting it on the exact size. We're almost there. Almost there for the fun bit. Let me know as well where you're watching from. So if you can type in where you're watching from, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay. So there we are. Okay then. So I've put the second layer buttercream on. I think I'll just move this out of the way. There we go. And now it's time to use the bench scraper. Basically, you just hold it flush against the cake, not too hard because you don't want to leave too much of an indent in the cake. And all you do, you just hold it still, and you turn the turntable. So basically, it's the turntable that's moving, not your hands. Your hands are just still. My left hand is still. It's just the right hand that I'm using to turn the turntable, and that's what's giving me. You will see sometimes that it won't completely be smooth, and that's fine. I'll show you how to fix that. That's looking okay. Just gonna scrape this off. Do that again. Great stuff. So sometimes when you finish scraping it, you notice that you've got a bit of a gap there. I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but all you can do is just refill it. Basically, you just put a bit more buttercream in those areas. Also, it's good that your buttercream is the right consistency, because you don't want it to be too runny, as well as you don't want it to be too stiff as well. So I will post a link to my recipe that I use after the live. That's it. Okay, so we're just going to repeat that process, but now focusing on the bit where you've just added the extra buttercream. Now you can just repeat this basically until you're satisfied with the smoothness of the cake. You can add more buttercream if you want, but because this cake is one of those that, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a bit rough anyway, because that's the look that we're going for, so it's fine. Brilliant. And just gonna clean my spatula, and all we need to do to clear the top, we're just gonna hold it this way and bring it in, basically. So that, I'll scrape the excess off. That's it. That's it. So all I'm doing, I'm holding my spatula at the tip of the edge of the cake and just enough pressure. I'm just bringing it in, not too much, because you don't want to alter the shape of the edge at all. So even though that won't matter too much with this design, because we're going to be decorating the edge of it anyway. So yeah, and you just smooth the top. And there we go. So that's the cake. It's been filled, it's been stacked, it's been crumb coated. I left it in the fridge for about half an hour, took it out, and now I've put the top coating on. Now what we're going to do is decorate it. That's it. I'll just put it back in the fridge just for a few minutes while I fill the bags. Okie doke. Great stuff. Now to the fun bit. What I'm going to be doing, I'm filling the bags now. So this is my recyclable bag. You can wash this and reuse it. I've got the 2D tip in the bag. You just make sure you cut it just enough so that the tip is able to stay in there, and you'll be able to apply some pressure and it won't slip out. So you don't want it to be too big either, but then it needs to be wide enough so the tip can fit. We're going to be using our red. I usually put my bag in a glass, which, you know, you'll find easier. A lot of people find it easier that way. I put it as a trick that I learned. I put my bag in a glass so it's there, and then I can just scoop my buttercream in. But because it's not a lot of buttercream that I need, I think I can manage with holding it. But when I've got, like, you know, 50, 60, 80 cupcakes to do, I tend to fill the bag a bit more. So it's better if it's in a glass or a cup and I can fill it. That's fine. Yeah, so I'll fill that. Yeah, I'm just using one of my Wilton bands. You don't need to use this, but I just find it easier just to tie it around it so that it doesn't come out at the top when you're trying to pipe. That's one down. Just get that off my hands. Oh, brilliant. I'm just gonna use the, should I start the green? Yeah, I'll start the green. And this is for the leaves. Basically, I haven't got a tip, but it's a simple trick. As well, you don't need these bags. You can also make your own bags. You can use greaseproof paper to make your own bags. I can post a link of that as well. But because I haven't got a leaf tip at the moment, I know it's packed away, but I'll just show you a simple tip. All you need to do is just cut the edge like in a V shape. So you cut it down. And then you cut that across. So basically it's a simple V shape. Oh, I think I've messed that up. Yeah, that should do the job. So I'm just preparing my buttercream for piping. Now then, I'm just going to be mixing the yellow. This is my Primrose colouring paste. I'll just use a little bit of this. And I've used a cocktail stick. Oh, doesn't want to go in. Okay, I'll make sure I get enough. It's best you make sure you get enough on the stick so you won't have to put it back in the tub. Or just use another one so you don't cross-contaminate the paste. Brilliant. With the buttercream. Oh, there we are. And all you do is just mix it. This is why I like the colouring, the paste instead of the liquid colouring, because it keeps the consistency of your buttercream. If you can see, I'll just come a bit closer. So that's the kind of consistency you want. Yep. And I'm just going to cut this bag for put the tip in first. Okay, it's a bit small, so I have to cut it again. Oh. You don't want to cut it too big because you want it to have a good grip, but you need to make sure the bag is not covering any of the lines there, because it will affect the shape. So because I'm wanting a bit of a two-tone, this is another way how you can do the two-tone. I could either color the paste again orange, or I just find it a lot easier just to get some of this on a stick, a long cocktail stick, and I just rub it in the bag, making sure you don't go through the bag with the stick, of course. Yeah. Cover that. And now you put your yellow in. Soon there. I will roll up more, just a little bit more. Yeah, I think that'll do, because the cake is not massive anyway, so that'll do. If I need any more, I'll put a bit more in. And again, I'm just tying it around with my string, just to hold it when I'm ready to pipe. Okay, just gonna tidy up a little bit. Okay, great. So now I'm gonna get the cake out. Been in the fridge now, I'll say about 10 minutes, and it's already starting to harden, so the buttercream is not runny, so which is brilliant, and it's great for piping this. So what we're gonna do now, put that out there ready. We're gonna first pipe some rosettes around the cake. I'll just pipe it around the tip. So what I do, I gently hold it and I press it towards the tip, and I'm just applying a little bit of pressure to the center then around. Yeah, don't know if you can see that. A little bit more. Applying pressure to the center and then around. Yeah, I'll just do a couple more. I'll make sure I get a bit of space this time because I need space for the hydrangeas. Great, and that's that. So what I'm gonna do now, so that's the rosettes done. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. I'll just bring the camera a bit in. Oh, how do I get there? So there you go, those are the rosettes that I've piped. And now I'm going to just pipe the hydrangeas just around it. So all you do with the hydrangeas is actually the same tip, the same number tip that I've used for the rose. Okay, so there you go. So you just press, that's all, just in between. I love hydrangeas. Yep, just gonna type a little bit in there. So all you do is just press it down towards the surface of the cake, and you just squeeze and you pull back. Okay, I'll just do a bit more on this edge. Okay, I'll wrap it up. Now, for the front, we just need to choose which bit we like best to be the front. Now, because I haven't got any there, actually, I'll pipe some there now. And I think this is where I'll use as the front. Oh, it's coming out a bit on that side. I think the tip did cut the bag a bit. I think it's fine. So I'll just come down that bit. Oh, it's a bit more. I'll just type one more. I'm just overlapping them, just typing some on top of it, so it's got a bit more of a realistic hydrangea look. Sorry, got a bit lost there. I forgot for a minute I was on live. I hope you're still being able to see. Yeah, brilliant. There's just a little bit more left. I think the first set that I did worked. Oh, so I'll just get these gloves off because they're a bit messy now. Brilliant. So I've actually typed the rosettes around now, and I've typed the hydrangeas, and as you see I've brought it down a little bit to the front there. So I'm going to do, Let's just take one of my birthday little little toppers there. Just being careful to remove the backing because it's a bit blue. And the front as well. There we are. And all we're going to do now is to stick that in the middle, in the center of our cake. Oh, and I forgot, we can do a border around the bottom. I've got some red left, so I'm going to use the red just to pipe some borders. So it's a bit like the hydrangea, but this time I'm just gently pressing, holding it against the cake. I squeeze and then I lift and then I come over. Simple borders. I learned this at school actually. My teacher, Miss Peters, the first one that taught me how to do cake. Yeah. So just simple borders around the cake. Always start from the back. So just in case that you haven't got enough width left to make a full border, it doesn't look uneven at the front, or which the bit that you really want to show. So right, there you go. And oh, I forgot some leaves. I put the topper on and forgot the leaves. You're just gonna put just a couple of leaves because I quite like this look with the yellow and the orange and the red. So we're just gonna pipe in between the roses. And because I haven't got a tip, I did cut the bag in a bit of a V shape. I'm just gonna hold it. You press down and you pull up. Press down and you pull up. Press down, pull up. It does work quite a treat as well when you do it with grease-proof paper. I think I should have cut it a lot more more in a V shape, but you get the gist. There you are. Oops, I went a bit too long. That will be enough. Oh, great. So, there we have our rosette hydrangea buttercream birthday cake. I'll just bring the camera a bit closer so you can have a better view. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So there it is, a simple rosette hydrangea and buttercream cake. There you are. And I'll just bring it back round to the front. Brilliant. Yeah, so there we have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for following us as well and for liking our page. If you haven't, please do give it a thumbs up. And thanks again. We'll see you next time with our next tutorial. See you. And just before we go, just want to tell you, Jesus loves you. Bye.